always faster, the greatest smasher. Obey your master. Obey the smasher.
Hello YouTube! The holidays don't stop Dr.Kendo because I am starting a semi-new series. The commentary is actually new, but I did do a few episodes with my friend Joseph, who's my best friend and is going to be my best man at my wedding. But as you can clearly see, we're starting Super Smash Bros Brawl commentaries, and this is the special breed of Dr.Kendo question and answer commentaries. So this means that, you know, you can ask questions and I will shout out to you on your channel and answer your question in the video. So, Super Smash Bros Brawl, just kind of some background before we get into the questions. If you're searching for it, you know, on YouTube and you're new to my series and everything, I'm assuming you're still going to be knowledgeable about Smash Brothers and know what it mostly is, but for those who don't, it's a fighting game, but I don't think of it in the traditional sense like most fighting games go, just because usually those are, you know, like what you think of Marvel vs. Capcom, Mortal Kombat and all that. Where Super Smash Bros. Is quite different actually from those, in my opinion. It's still pretty fast-paced and everything, but basically your goal is to not get knocked off of the level, so you and your opponents just smack each other down to get your damage up higher and higher, and basically when you're past 100% usually is around the time you're gonna fly off, unless your character's maybe a little lighter or maybe a little heavier, in which case they wouldn't fall off as easy. But it's also a test of your survival skills, because you gotta, you know, use your skills to survive and get back on the level. And I would never pick this level that we're on, which is Port Town Aero Dive, which is from F-Zero. The character representing that is Captain Falcon. But Super Smash Bros. Not only is a fighting game, it pulls together all types of Nintendo, and now with Super Smash Bros. Brawl, characters outside of Nintendo. But it's all Nintendo type things, you know, and then those few exceptions. It was Sonic the Hedgehog and Solid Snake were added to the series, which was a great addition in my opinion. But it's a culmination of, you know, Nintendo things. They might be that the game has items that you can use, so it might be that, you know, Pokeballs come into play, or an item from a, you know, one of the various Nintendo titles, and lots of different characters for you to choose from. But I'm playing as Diddy Kong, and again, I would usually never pick this level, but I chose random. Sometimes every now and then I like to play out of stages that I'm not too familiar or comfortable with or whatever. But why don't we get to the first question? It comes from Tamari773. This is actually a subscriber of mine, and I'm also subscribed to her videos, so definitely go check them out and give her a shout. But Tamari773 asks, have you ever noticed that on the direction guide that comes with Brawl, when it shows the controls to play the game, it only gives you the GameCube controls? And then she adds, if you have noticed, was it difficult for you to figure out the controls when you first started playing Brawl? Well, that's a good first question. I swear by the GameCube controller. I've been using it, you know, since Smash Bros. Melee, of course, and I did play the N64 version, but I've always thought kind of that the GameCube controller was the best suited for Smash Bros. Brawl. Now we're on to a second Brawl, and I'm playing as the Pokemon trainer, which is fun because you get to be Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard, all in one character, basically. And we're playing on one of the favorites, I'm sure, for Smash Brothers fans. One of the favorite levels is Final Destination. But anyway, I swear by the GameCube controller. I think it's best suited for this game, and I probably did notice at one time that the beginning guide only gives you the GameCube controls. But it wasn't really that difficult to start playing Brawl. I know that one thing that was really helpful with that was that one of the creators, of course, started the Smash Brothers website, you know, smashbros.com, and it was like the dojo that kept kind of giving us information piece by piece, day by day, and that was actually how the announcement for Sonic and, you know, Solid Snake got out, was through that website. And so that actually made it really easy because it had a section for controls, in addition to, you know, characters, levels, and items and things that were going to be in the game. I actually was paying close attention to that because this question that Tamari asked leads me into a story that I have. I actually participated in the huge GameStop tournament that was one of the largest, probably, Smash Brothers tournaments with publicity-wise, to date. And this was, of course, it was going to be a tournament where nobody had ever played the game before because it was on the launch date of the game. and all that they had available was the Wii Remote and Nunchuck combination. So obviously, you know, nobody had played the game and nobody had used those controls for Smash Brothers before. So I actually did pay attention to the website and learned the controls for the Wii Remote and everything on that, and kind of translated what I was doing with the GameCube controller on Melee in preparation for it, you know, the weeks to come. You know, I was playing Smash Brothers Melee in preparation for the tournament. So I was kind of I was trying to translate the controls that I was doing and what that would be on the Wii Remote. One thing I can say is, you know, if you're really new to the series of Smash Brothers, you're going to fail unless you learn to master your shield, specifically your shield roll. So, you know, on the GameCube controller, it's one of your shoulder buttons, whichever one you use. I use R, but, you know, it's L and R. Whichever one you press, after you do that, you can press a direction, and you'll roll to that direction. So once you master those kinds of things, so, you know, obviously that was something that I had to figure out on the Wii Remote, you know, configuration was, oh, okay, so Z on the nunchuck was gonna be the shield, and obviously I wanted to make use of that. And the ending of my, you know, my story for that is that I did play that tournament on launch date, and Joseph, my friend who played Smash Brothers with me earlier, was waiting in line with me and saw the tournament. But I actually did take first place, and it was funny because I remember in the very last match, you know, the guy that I beat, it was close to sudden death, and there was an electrode out, you know, if you send the Pokeball out and then there's an electrode. I guess the people there were at least slightly new to the game to not know this, but I was standing right next to the electrode, and they're all like poking fun at me, like, oh god, what is he doing standing next to that electrode? He's gonna get blown up, you know. Like, they thought I was dumb, you know, and what they didn't know is that I picked up the electrode at the last second, and I threw it over, and I blew up the dude. I was playing against a guy who was using Link, so I threw the electrode right at Link and took the tournament and took first place. And I have this little certificate that I showed off, I know, in some of my previous Smash Brothers videos, but I'll put it at the end here too. They gave me a cool certificate and a little trophy for being their local legend of wreckage on Smash Brothers. So that was really exhilarating, it was fun, and the controls were slightly hard, I guess, using the Wii Remote and everything, but if you know what each control does for that specific action, and you know how to play the game, then you should be pretty well off. So that's kind of a long answer I have, that, you know, it was not too hard for me to figure out controls and everything, but again, I definitely live by the GameCube controller for this game, as I do with most of the games that I cast, it seems. But anyway, there is another question. There's one more. It comes from one of my good buddies and subscribers, Gold Raptor 17. We play Mario Kart a lot, so definitely check out the Mario Kart commentaries if you don't watch those already. He asks, who is your favorite character in Brawl? And I could give you a long list. I would say probably the #1 favorite characters. I gotta say, actually, it's 2 characters that are my #1, and this is just for who I would say that I'm best with, is going to definitely be Diddy Kong and Wolf. As you notice, we started this new match, and I'm playing as Sonic on Pokemon Stadium 2, the Brawl version. I was really happy when Sonic was announced to be in the game. Sonic is my favorite video game character of all time. I kind of identify with him most in my life too, because they're actually in high school and in college and stuff, I had spiked hair and stuff, and I would wear red Converse. People always thought I did it because of Sonic, but that was not it. I had red Converse because I always liked Converse, and the spiked hair thing just kind of came after a while. But anyway, I would say, you know, just aside from who I think I'm best with, I have quite a few favorites. I, of course, like Sonic and Diddy and Wolf, but I also like the Pokemon trainer. I got some scrutiny from Joseph when me and him were playing. He was saying that it's bull hockey that the Pokemon trainer can really rock, but I've seen some people do good with him, and, you know, I can find a few tricks and stuff to be good with the Pokemon trainer. But I also kind of like Samus. That's kind of on my lower favorites of the favorite list. And unfortunately, I'm disappointed though with how they made Sonic in Brawl, because really, to me, he doesn't seem that good. Maybe I just am not good enough with him or something, but I've been playing the game for a while, and I've been playing Smash Brothers my whole life, so I don't know, maybe I just don't know how to use Sonic, but I just kind of have a problem, I guess, with how they made him. It seems kind of like, you know, even compared to characters who don't have a lot of range and ranged attacks and things, Sonic, he just does not seem to have a wide range. Really, you obviously got to take advantage of his speed, because he doesn't seem to have a lot of power. You know, it takes a lot to knock people out with Sonic. So you obviously really want to take advantage of his speed above all else. But I do really like how Sonic has the spring. You know, that's kind of I think people were hoping that he would have that and the spin dash, of course, the coveted Sonic moves. But, you know, the spring attack really, I think, sends Sonic to a new level because it's a great thing for survival and for escaping and for attacking. So it has multiple purposes. And hey, he's a fun character. I remember that there was like a huge dispute of Sonic's voice actor and everything. People were saying that like Ryan Drummond should voice it, or was that the guy who ended up voicing it? If people aren't familiar with the Sonic legacy or lineage, I should actually tell you that if you didn't know, Jaleel White was the voice of the first Sonic cartoons, which I used to watch all the time as a 90s kid. In the mornings, I would watch it. And Jaleel White is better known as Steve Urkel. So Steve Urkel was the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog, the original voice. Now, of course, he's been through many voices, and I would say that I don't really have a problem with most of his voice actors, except for the recent one that does Sonic Generations. I haven't even looked up the guy's name because that's how much I really don't care for his voice and stuff in Sonic Generations. But it's a great game, so I recommend that game too, of course. But I digress, as I usually do. But this match is nearing its end. It has a terribly unfortunate ending for me. Kind of a dumb move that I make here. So I really blame myself largely in part for this. Sonic's spin dash, you know, can be dangerous, and you're about to find out why. See, I threw this thing at him, and then I charged up the spin dash, and she shot it back, and then, oh, damn it. But I must say, thanks for viewing. Thank you again for the questions, and feel free to ask more, because now that I've asked those two, I have lots of space open for questions, and we'll do the next commentary video with the next questions that I get. So you can also ask questions about Mario Kart or Mario Strikers Charge, because those are the other games that I do commentary on, and I really appreciate it, and please have fun during the holiday times. This may be uploaded after Christmas, but I'm commentating it before Christmas, so have fun and be safe, and merry times to you all. So I'll catch you on the next vid, and thanks for viewing.
Obey this smasher, or you could be next. Come out on top time and time again. Surviving minds are smart bomb explosions. Shield breaking Z, throwing smash attacking. Do the same, and I'm here rolling right back in. I've come out on top time and time again.